Hey everyone, I'm Ricky. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Okay, now let's get into the video. Today I am beginning my trip across the country from Washington DC to Oregon. I've just literally packed everything in my car. I've cleaned my apartment, and I'm about to go off. So, also my hair is looking poofy because I'm oiling it up, I'm fluffing it up, keep it hydrated, you get me. So let's go out to my car. Okay, so I'm in my car right now, and so what my plan is to drive from Washington D.C. and get to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not quite sure how long it's actually gonna take me, but it's gonna be like Apple Maps said it's gonna be about like 10 hours or so, which is a long stretch to be doing this, but I'm ready. I'm here for it. I want to show you guys my van, but I want to do it like probably in the next video. It's about 10:30 a.m. right now, and I wanted to leave at like 10, but got busy, I don't know. Like, let's just hit the road, guys. Hey guys, so I'm testing this. Oh wait, what happened to it? So I'm testing this new mic that I got off of Amazon. I don't know if this is going to be working, but we're gonna take a spin. So right now I'm driving through Virginia, and I'm not gonna be spending any time here. I'm just driving through to get to Georgia, but I've noticed a lot of interesting things about this state. First of all, when I first started driving, I passed this I passed by this maintenance van that had a sign that read, what was it? Plantation shutters, like custom plantation shutters. I'm like, okay, Virginia, like that's kind of on the nose for you. Like it just seemed, yeah. I know it's just a housing term, but I was just like, oh, a place that used to be a Confederate state. Not only a Confederate state, but the Confederate state. Like it was the capital of the Confederacy, Virginia. And then when I like started driving inward, like closer to Richmond, I started seeing more like relics of that time, that era of like Virginia's founding, because it was one of the first colonies founded. I'm gonna open up the window. It's kind of getting hot. It's really humid here too. But yeah, I started like seeing more of like Virginia's old history in the present day, because I passed by this ginormous, like humongous tobacco plantation company that I think is that does Marable. I don't even know. It's like Phillips USA something, and I remember literally in like civics class and like American history back in middle school about how tobacco was a cash crop in Virginia, and to see a company that most likely initially started with the use of slave labor, and now is like, I mean, it's still kind of doing bad stuff, right? And it is spreading cancer across the world. But Americans famously are really against tobacco, and Europeans are famously known for consuming tobacco. So it's kind of like a reverse colonization. It's like reverse colonial trauma, I would say. I'm not saying it's right, but it's capitalism. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then also I've noticed something weird is like the standard license plate in Virginia is like their slogan, their motto is Virginia is for lovers. And I'm like, what? That's kind of weird. Well, like, what about like I think I know what they're hinting at, but I'm like, what about Virginia is for lovers? You know, because Virginia was. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, put down in the comments, but Virginia was a colony named after the Virgin Queen Elizabeth the First. Oh, Queen Victoria. I don't I don't know. Anyway, this place was named after the virginity of a British monarch an ocean away. And so for their slogan to be Virginia's for lovers, I'm just like, so virginity is for lovers? Is that what you're getting at? I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly. I just pulled up to a Love's. I'm gonna go in. Go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna take you guys with me. The gas prices are so low here. It's like $2.95 per gallon. Oh.
Your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower 5.
I wanted to get some snacks, but I'm allergic to literally every single thing there, so I just got this for my blood sugar. But when I was checking out, the two ladies were talking to each other. They were like having fun. I love their accents so much, like their dialects. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think a lot of people think that it sounds dumb, but I just think it just sounds honest and endearing. Anyway, back in my car. It's been raining on and off this entire trip, and I'm only about 3 hours into it. I have 7 more to go till I get to Atlanta. So there's that. I think I've said what I wanted to say. Actually, no. There's also another thing. Okay, so there's this ginormous billboard that was talking about it didn't say explicitly, but it was inferring that even someone working at a gas station is someone who you can go to if you're being human trafficked. And I'm just like, that is so Virginia, because Virginia's has a whole history is in human trafficking. But don't get me wrong, I mean, Oregon has a long, recent, to this day, history of human trafficking. Portland has the most sex trafficking out of any city in the U.S. So, I'm not one to judge in that regard, but just seeing just knowing a little bit of the history of the state, and then seeing what the modern era looks like in everything in terms of its industry, amenities. I would say this: their rest stops here are way nice. I've noticed this a lot about East Coast rest stops, is that they are just they have restaurants, convenience stores in them. They're like airport terminals almost, which I guess makes sense. But in Oregon, anything food related is separated from the restrooms and stuff. They're not even in the same area. You have a specific place designated for rest stops, for the amenities, and then you have specific places for gas stations and food and stuff. So they're not even in the same area. You have to drive a few miles to get there. I have aspirations to become governor, and I think this is one of the things I would change, is make Oregon rest stops great again, because they never were, but some people think they were. Ain't that the truth? Also, I just wanted to add, I'm being all lighthearted and stuff, but this is really surreal for me as someone who grew up in a Western state where slavery wasn't institutionalized in law. Socially, there's just a very different way of identifying with America's original sin. So to think that I'm currently in a state where a few decades there were discriminatory practices that wouldn't allow me to even use the same restrooms and water fountains to a century prior, not even being treated as a human, being considered 3/5 of a person. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of those experiences driving through the South. Not necessarily, and when I say experiences, I'm not saying I'm going to be discriminated against. Look at this face. Look at this face. No, but it's something that I'm going to think about, and it's going to be surreal, and I'm just gonna be really grateful for the time that I'm living in and the resilience of my people and of this country, because the country's going. I mean, countries always go through stuff. Like, we're not special here in the States, but it's kind of like the worst of times and the best of times in a way. And I'm focusing right now on the best of times, and I'm just so fortunate to be alive in this time period, even though it's flirting with fascism. But that's a different topic. I'm gonna go back on the road. Well, yeah. So yeah. I'll see you later. Face. Okay, so this behind me, I don't know if you guys had time to read it. Basically, in 1865, there was a battle between the Union soldiers and the Confederate soldiers. So I'm literally at a rest stop area where a bunch of people died. How many? 239 Confederate, 304 Union, and 543 in total, and thousands missing. I just took a nap here. Taking a nap on grave.